I guess, welcome. I'm Jennifer Joines. This is Brenda Davis, and we're from the 2014 Master Gardener class. So if you choose to do that, or if you are a Master Gardener, it's a wonderful thing. I have to put a plug in for that, but you do have to do stuff like this. Yeah. It's a good thing, right? Today we are talking about warming up to gardening, and that was Janie's idea, not necessarily mine. But I work for the city of Murfreesboro. I work out of the sports comp facility. I also am at Patterson and various other places. Pretty much you name it, I pretty much go there. I do personal training and I do a lot of programming. So my job is basically to get people moving. However, I can do it. Sometimes you have to trick them into it. Well, most of the time, they're willing participants. So I have a running group and a triathlon group, and that's mainly what I focus on. We have the coffee marathon. So have you ever heard of the coffee marathon? Oh, well, I should have brought that literature.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
It's just a program, real quick, it's a program that we did 2 years now. And it starts the first of the year. And you pay $25 and we give you 7 routes. And all 7 of those routes equal 26.2 miles. And you can do 1 weekend, you can do 2 a weekend, you can do however you want. You have 3 months to finish it.
Usually from January to April,
yeah.
And you get a coffee cup at the end.
And it's local coffee shops, and then the guy that makes my mugs for me, he's a local potter. So anyway, that's the coffee.
Really nice.
That was a sidebar.
Is it red oak potter?
It is red oak potter.
It is.
Bill right down the street from me.
Yeah. Bill Hines, he's a wonderful man. He comes in the facility all the time, works out. He's the one that said, let me make this for you.
Well, his wife walks,
And
and she's so sweet. She puts our newspaper over our fence.
Oh, cute. Well, I've got handouts today, and I know they're a little bulkier than I may have liked. If you do not want to take it with you, we can probably email it to you at some point. I went through, and I guess I should back up. The handouts are basically active stretching. It's a term we use a lot in the industry, in the wellness and fitness industry. And active stretching is basically a smaller movement of what you're going to do. So it's a way of warming up. It's not static stretching, which I'm probably familiar with static stretching, where you just hold stretches and things like that. That's a little rough on your body when you start, when you're not warmed up. So we kind of moved on. I guess it's, there's always the newer thing. The newest thing, and the newest thing now is active stretching. So a smaller movement to what you're going to do next, I guess. So we've got some static stretches here for you. There's several pages of them. They do have options on them. We have precautions on them. It's all written out. If you do have any kind of issues, joint, anything like that, back is anything that hurts you, obviously don't do it, right? There are options. And there's several exercises for the same thing. So, you can kind of play with that a little bit. I think any kind of movement before you start gardening is really, really important. Anything you can do is super important. I guess what was it, one day we were looking at how many calories you burn when you're gardening. It is amazing. It's amazing. The calories per hour that you burn when you're gardening. So you are moving, you are exercising while you're beautifying, right? Right? All right. So Brenda's going to be my demonstrator. She's going to demonstrate the exercises, and I would love for you all to do them with us. The first few we can do sitting down, and then we'll probably end up having to stand up. And then if we have time, we can even combine some of them. As far as a routine that you do on a normal basis before you garden. And I think that's probably an important part. And it will help with injury prevention. It will help with soreness. There's a lot of good things that it will improve, I guess.
It warms you up.
And it warms you up because this is warming up to garden. There you go. All right. So our first one, if you look at your first little page, we're just going to go over this. And we're going to do about 10 of each one, just to let you know. It does say hold, 3 to 6 seconds and straight fingers. It actually tells you exactly what you're doing. So in case you go home and you go, what was that one? Kind of gives you an idea. So we're doing the cat claw, right? And we're just going to bend those little fingers. So we're not necessarily bending all the joints of your fingers, it's just those first little points. And this is the wonderful one that if you have arthritis, you go, oh, okay. But the more you move them, the looser they should become. So maybe, like it says, you're supposed to hold it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, something like that, Nate. All right. Do about 10. I think 10's a nice round number, and it's, you know, all right. So we're going to go on to the piano. Fingers facing downward, wrists and fingers relaxed. And it's just like you're playing a piano. You're going to use just your 4 fingers, though. Not going to use your thumb. Just do the piano and just move. So now you're moving the second joint up into your hand. And just like, you know, you can be wandering around the house thinking, okay, I got to get the water, I got to get this, what am I going to do today? You know, you could also start there. All right, and of course, there's not any precautions with these other than arthritis, I would think. And these actually, a lot of them came out of the arthritis book. They want you to do these if you have arthritis. Okay, so the thumb bend, you're going to hold your hand up and you're going to bend that thumb in and out. And think full range of motion. That's another term we use a lot. So you're not just wiggling it, right? You're closing it completely down and opening completely up. All right, so think full range of motion when you do these. Your fingers won't work. Brenda's fingers won't work.
No, I want to curl around my thumb.
And then there's also, let's see, do not touch the base of the little finger. That's a caution. Prevent overstretching thumb. Just let your hands do what they naturally do. You don't want to press them too far. You turn it over. The next one is open the door opener. The door opener. And this is more moves on from the hands to the wrists and the forearms. All right, so you're going to palms up, extend those hands forward, and then palms down. So it's a pretty easy motion. Nothing. There's not a whole lot of brains behind it. It's just one of those things you just can do. And then it also tells you to make a figure 8 if you want to make a figure 8. Just a little bit more motion, And this, we're focusing on the wrists and the forearms. So the elbows are kind of stationary. Okay. And if you think about, I'm trying to think, what would you do with this gardening wise? You're brushing the mulch aside or something. I don't know. Maybe you can do that. Okay. It says numbness of wrist or fingers are a precaution on this. If you tend to get numbness in your wrists or fingers, you may want to just do a few of them. All right, and then the next one is the finger curl. The fingers are going to come all the way in and all the way out. Wrists and fingers are straight, and bend the large knuckle while keeping the middle end joint straight. All right, so you're just going to open and close, just a larger opening and closing of the hands. And like I said, this is a great, if you want to incorporate that cat claw into this one, it works really well. So we just want movement. And I give you extra options on different things that you can do so that you can choose. You can pick and choose what makes you feel good and what works for you. All right, so I think we're on to hand and wrist wave. Second page, right, is that we're on? And I know it looks like, so you're just going to wave those hands side to side, working the wrists in just a little bit different motion. Really think about what's going on wrist-wise. And I know it looks like it's underwater, because a lot of them came from underwater, came out of the water book. All right, and then you're just going to go from here, and you're going to turn those hands forward and do an up and down motion. All right, same.
See, if you have a pool, you could do it in your pool.
You can do it in your pool. Yeah, you can warm up in your pool. All right, and then you're going to circle, so wrist rotation. So you're going to circle them around and around. And remember, when you go one way, go the other. Go the other way. All right, so wrist rotation. Good morning. Come on in.
Good morning.
From the hands to the wrists. All right, and now we're going to move to larger muscle grips. So we started with really small joints, small muscle grips. We're going to move to the larger ones now. So we're on to shoulder shrugs. So we're on to the shoulder stretch. So we're moving on up the arm, onto the shoulder shrug. Simple stuff, right? Just shoulder shrug, moving the shoulders up and down. Just join in, just join in. Your prizes. All right, so we're doing the shoulder shrug, up and down, right? And then, if you look down below, the lady's doing a rotation. And again, this one is one of those, if you have any kind of rotator cuff injuries, if you have any problems at all with those shoulders, if you have any kind of problems with your shoulders at all, and it doesn't do it, then don't worry about it. Just don't do it, right? And then of course, back, and then go front. All right, so when you do it one way, we're gonna go the other way also. Is it warmer in here? Does it get warmer in here? Yeah. Have you not come in here before and it's freezing? Just freezing. All right, so we're doing great. All right, so the last one on that page is a shoulder rotation, which seems a little bit odd that you're moving your forearms, but it really does rotate the shoulder muscles. So the elbows are tucked in, right? Elbows are tucked in, not to at the waistline, and those are like they're glued there. And then the arms are just gonna go out and in, out, in, back out, and in. All right. So, and then I also need to address this since we're moving on to the whole body and core. You know, are you all familiar with core, that term? Your core is anywhere from shoulders all the way down to your knees. Anything in there. Something, and your core is what is your stabilization. That's what stabilizes your body. That's what keeps you in great form, right? It protects your back. It protects your stomach. It's a great powerhouse for your body. So we're moving on. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to the core. When you do this, I still want that tummy tucked in, chest lifted, shoulders back. All right, just a thought. I guess you could do it like this, but it's probably not going to do the same, right?
More like
It's not going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, so our focus is the shoulder. All right, still moving on. I think you may have to turn the page. No, sorry. So we've got a neck pat and a back pat. Now this is a little tricky because you're patting the neck and then you're also patting the back. Well, that's that reach behind you. And sometimes our shoulder, our range of motion is not what it should be. So again, please be careful. Yeah, just be careful, do what you can do. We have a thing over at the senior center that we do on a yearly basis, and we test them, and we test how far apart their hands get on their back, and it's amazing. It's amazing what happens back there. All right, so second side. So we did it on the one side, now we're gonna go to the other side. And again, maybe 10 reps, just something to kind of keep things moving, get those joints just, and this is not something, I guess you could brush your hair and scratch your back, right? So on a daily basis. All right, so that's your neck pat, back pat, and that's still shoulder. Still a shoulder stretch, all right? Fingertips to the shoulder. I'm just gonna start here with the arm out and tap the shoulder. Now this one has her elbow raised. Again, you're still gonna get a nice range of motion here. You can get the elbow up a little higher, that's fine also. All right, so just please be careful, listen to your body. I can't say that enough. There's no need to hurt yourself warming up to gardening, all right? Shoulder joint injury is the precaution on that one. All right, and then the next one we have is front arm circles. And we're just gonna circle, 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 right? So those arms are out front. Now, you may feel a little pull in your lower back when your arms are out front. The best thing to do is pull your stomach in. You pull that stomach in, and it protects that lower back, and then you're good to go. So we're going to go the other direction. Are you guys going to exercise today? Just asking, just calling you out. You sat in the front.
What can we say?
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, that's great. Okay, moving on, turn the page. So we're moving on down. So we've got the wrists, we got the fingers, we did the wrists, we did the forearms, elbows, shoulders. Now we're going to work the trunk. That's a funny term, isn't it? The trunk. I guess it's from a tree. That term, that trunk. This sounds fun. So we're going to call it the core. We're going to work our core because it sounds better. Right. So this one, she's just turning side to side. She put her hands on her hips because that's a nice place to lay your hands. We're just going to carefully turn side to side. Again, back pain, be careful with this. Exactly. If your body won't allow you to do this, don't do it. Right? But this one is just a straight turn. Those shoulders are level. And you're just carefully twisting. Now, obviously, if you're gardening with a neighbor and they can twist a lot more than you can, let them do it. You just twist and do what you can do, right? We're not going to try and keep up with the neighbor. All right, and then just another option is a side to side. So we're just going to bend side to side. And again, let your body tell you when to stop. Let your body stop you. Don't push it. There's no need to push it. We'll get plenty of exercise when you do start gardening. Moving on, we're going to work on, I guess I got these mixed up a little bit because I got some more shoulder business going on. But anyway, so front clap, back clap. Now we're getting into multiple muscle movement. That's what it's called. So you're going to clap in front and clap behind. Now, you may not be able to touch your hands behind. We want you to be able to touch your hands behind. That's a good thing. But if you can't, just slide them back there. As close as you can, right? Right. She's keeping her hands about shoulder level. She's not really going a whole lot higher at this point. All right, because there's 3 different muscle groups that are on top of your shoulders. So you're working the front and you're working the rear. All right, and then we're going to opt to go all the way up and all the way down. So now she's going to work the top of that shoulder. All right, and then she's going back down. Go out to the side. Yeah, go out to the side on that. Oh, good. We got so much. You can stand up if you want. Just say.
Now I'm up against the wall, so I'm kind of defined.
Yeah. I love it. In fact, standing up would probably be a good idea because that's what we're going to do next anyway. So we got our shoulders up and down. So her arms are not, shoulders are not locked. Her elbows are not locked. She has a nice straight arm, but it's not locked. So watch those elbows. And again, do what you can do. Some people are really great. They can go all the way to the top. Some people can't. And that's just fine and dandy. All right, so we're going to turn over. We're going to go on to the hug. So it's just an extension of, she's kind of going front and back. Now we're going to go all the way around. Well, that pulls even more into the back. All right, that's just a larger range of motion, right? If you can do this, that's perfect. If you can do this, that's fine too. I'm just asking you to do a little bit more as we continue forward. So you're going to get a little bit more difficult. If you can do the first 3 pages and across. So it's a lateral twisting motion. Again, keep the tummy tucked in, keep the core nice and firm. We're just a little chop, chop, chop. And again, this one, do it on one side, you get to do it on the other. There you go. Right, and so your shoulders are moving a little bit, you're twisting in your core a tiny bit, and that's all good and fine. All good and fine. And multiple muscle, right? We're using the core, we're using the shoulders, we're using the elbows, we haven't separated out, we're putting it all together again. Stir the soup, right? Stir the soup, let's stir the soup. You're stirring, right? So this one, you're even getting down into your legs, right? So let's talk about legs. Feet should be shoulder distance apart, knees should be bent. Hips are in a neutral position, so they're not sticking out. They're not sticking out either way, just a neutral position. Tummy's tucked in, shoulders are lifted, head's lifted, right? And then we're just going to stir and stir. Again, that might bother your lower back, and if it does, don't go out quite as far. Make your stirring a little bit smaller. Okay? And then again, with one direction, let's go the other. A little bit different. You think it's, do both directions. So we're stirring. I can't help if I do it. I know. Please do it with the class. And she goes, I'll do the demonstration. I'm like, okay, can't help it. Okay, so we're marching. So we're moving on to the legs because how much do you use your legs when you're gardening? All the time. All the time. A ton. So we're just going to march like a little majorette, right? So we're just going to pick your knee up, and what should happen is you should have a 90-degree angle here with your knee, here with your hip. And then back down. And you can do one leg at a time. You can do both legs at a time. Oh no, you can't do that. You can do one leg at a time. You can do alternate legs.
I want to see that one.
Yeah. I was just seeing if y'all pay attention. But you can walk. Like a lot of times we'll do running. This is part of our warm up for running, but we're moving. We move with it. So you can be carrying your stuff from your garage to wherever you're going to work that day and marching this way. All right? And we're just going to extend that knee into a kick. What is it?
My neighbors will have me committed.
Oh, trust me.
They watch me do that all the time.
So this is another one of those that it's from the hip, the knee is soft, we're just kicking. And I have people that do 2 steps in between. They'll move with it, they'll kick, and then they'll step. Let's see what they're doing. They'll kick, then they'll do 3 steps. I guess they do 3 steps and kick the other foot. And it kind of balances you a little bit if you choose to not care what your neighbors think and go for it. But, or you can stand in your garage. So all the feet, everything we do with our legs and feet, I would challenge you to not hold on to anything. That's my challenge for you, right? It's not easy to do, but it will help your balance. That's just a whole nother class.
Yeah.
Okay.
First thing to go is your balance
That's a
as
whole
you
nother
age.
Okay, I missed the clamshell. We'll go back to the clamshell. The clamshell is just a lateral movement. It just goes out and down, right? It's for those hip flexors. It's for your hip joints. It's for all that business up there. And it's just a bent knee and just swing it outward. And again, range of motion is very personal. Everybody's going to have a different range of motion. And everybody's going to be able to do this a little bit differently. But super important is what? Your core. Strong core. So tummy in, head up, shoulders back. It'll work a whole lot better that way. All right, so whatever you do to one side, do the other. If you choose to do one leg then the other, or you choose to alternate. We're going to do a crossover, which is a lateral movement or lateral strength. So you're in your beds and you're grabbing weeds over here, and all of a sudden, oh, you gotta go over here, right? So that carries that a little. Anyway, we're just gonna lift and cross it over, and lift and cross it over. I just you're not supposed to hold on. I'm holding all over the place. All right, and by the time you're done with all these, you're going to be tired. You're going to get some more water. So, do one side, right? Do the other side. Got to do both sides. And remember, this is originating from your hip, right? So your knee and foot are just kind of coming along for the ride. All right? Just kind of swinging it ever so carefully, right? Ever so carefully. Again, I cannot express, or I guess express is my last time. I cannot impress the idea of do your own thing. Whatever your body will allow you to do. All right, don't overdo it. The other one is a rear, it's a hamstring. So the back of that leg is a hamstring curl. Kind of warms up that hamstring. How many of us are finished gardening and it's not the next day, it's the following day? Right?
So sore and you're just barely walking.
Yep, and it's always the back of my legs. Always get the back of my legs. It's delayed onset muscle fatigue. DOM. There's a name for it. DOM. D-O-M. DOM. All right, little hamstring. Okay, and then last one are squats, right? We do a ton of squats in the industry, in the wellness industry. Our squats look more like down here, right, way down. These are just little knee bends. So it's kind of a hybrid knee bend, mini squats, what they're calling it. But if you think about how do you get down to your flower bed? How do you get down there to work on it? Do you bend forward? Very, very hard on you, okay? By bending forward, your heart is above your head. So we always want to keep our head above our heart. A tendency to pass out. Something like that might happen. We don't want that to happen. So when you go down and take care of your flowers, you should always bend those knees. So we're down and up this way. All right. And I mean, that's how I always do it. How do you do it? How do you get down there?
Sometimes I just fall.
Oh.
However is the easiest to get down.
On my stool.
On your stool, you can sit, yes, you can sit on your stool. Yeah, and that works perfectly.
She
But just be
exercises
careful.
me too much and I hurt really bad. And my
But just be
hamstrings
careful
and I fall.
to keep what? Keep the knees over the toes, right? We always want to have our weight on our heels when we bend down, right? Always want to have, and we always want to have our hands free. We don't ever want to put our hands on our legs. Just the hands are free to be here or to sit or whatever you choose to do. So those kind of warm up your entire leg. That little squat when you squat warms up your entire leg. All right, and that's all the torture I have for you for one day.